Antlion audio has been a pretty integral part of our live streaming productions for quite some time now. Starting with the ModMic 4, we have since been using the ModMic 5 and a special phantom power adapter to interface them to a mixer, and that gives us unparalleled sound for their price points. But what about a mixerless option? Well, Antlion might just have the answer in the form of the ModMic USB and ModMic Wireless headsets. Let's take a closer look. So this should be a pretty straightforward test. This is the ART M3 multi-pattern FET condenser microphone. We've been using this one for quite some time on the channel, but for the time being we're using another microphone to see if we can get better results for lower voices at closer distance to the mic. But as you can tell, this microphone has excellent sound quality and we may yet go back to it. But for the purposes of this video, this is how the ART M3 sounds. So this microphone right here is the one that we've been using in our recent videos and live streams. This is the ART D7 large diaphragm dynamic microphone, and it does a pretty good job at capturing our voice at about this distance. But it also does a good job of capturing voices at close range that might be lower in volume. We're not sure whether or not we're going to keep using this one. We might yet go back to the ART M3 for our regular productions, but I mean, as you can tell, this is a pretty decent sounding mic. So for the purpose of this video, this is how the ART D7 sounds. Now, anyone who's watched any of our live streams over the last few years knows that this guy's been hanging off of our headsets for quite some time. This is the Antlion Audio ModMic 5, and we interface it with our mixer using this guy right here. This is a 48 volt to 3.5 volt converter that goes from XLR to 3.5 millimeter. So that just interfaces with our mixer, and then it does its job. So as you can tell, sound quality is really good. So for the purpose of this video, this is how the ModMic 5 sounds. Now for the meat and potatoes of this review. This is the ModMic USB. In a lot of ways, it resembles the ModMic 4 in that it goes from the mic to a mute switch to the USB end, and that's pretty much it. It comes with a few little clasps so that you can make it in line with your headset's wiring. And that's more or less all there is to it. There is an inline mute switch that lights up when you engage it. And basically, that's it. Now, there's a bit of a concern with the sound quality on this one here. As you can hear, it's not exactly up to par with everything that we've been using so far. And I think the reason for that is because we can't fiddle with the EQ. Because this is just simply going through USB, it doesn't interface with our mixer at all. Now, we might have a workable solution for this lack of an EQ, which we'll take a look at in a second, but for this video, this is how the ModMic USB sounds. And finally, this is the Antlion Audio ModMic Wireless. Now, the ModMic Wireless is so aptly named because no additional wires are required to attach it to your headset. Everything is done wirelessly through a USB dongle. Now, this USB dongle will receive audio information at a speed of 34 milliseconds, which is quicker than the typical 150 milliseconds that some Bluetooth devices will transmit at. So while it's not instant, it's still pretty snappy. To mute the headset, all you need to do is hit the button, and then hit it again to unmute. There's also a yellow LED that indicates low battery and charging. The dongle will also show when mute is engaged, which is pretty handy. Now, the ModMic Wireless also comes with a number of accessories, as you can see, the dongle and the unit itself, but also a charge cable, which is micro USB, and an extension cable, which was really handy to show you that little feature on the face of the dongle there. This is also useful if you need to bring your receiver closer to you, as the metals on the back of a PC very easily disrupt the signal to the dongle itself. So if that's required, this cable allows you to do it. Now, the ModMic Wireless sounds good, especially compared to the ModMic USB, but for both solutions, it's not where we need to be in terms of sound quality, especially since the EQ can't be tweaked. So let's take a look at a solution that I think might work. But before that, this is how the ModMic Wireless sounds. Okay, so we're back on the ModMic USB here, and this is Voicemeter. It's a virtual mixer. It allows you to put various USB microphones through it. And it does exactly what our normal mixer does, except it's not a physical thing. So you can hear here. So you can see here that I've got the Antlion USB microphone plugged in, And I've adjusted the EQ, I don't know, a third of the way down towards the low end. Like I can put it way down here and it doesn't really sound great. And up here it sounds super cheap. This is the magic spot right here, and it sounds really good. So, I mean, in conjunction with this software right here, I think the ModMic USB is, you know, definitely a passable device, so long as you don't mind putting a little more effort into it. So this works. Let's try with the ModMic Wireless. Okay, and we're back with a ModMic Wireless, and once again, just a little towards the low end, this sounds really, really good. It's convincing enough to use on maybe a podcast and absolutely for streaming. So with a little bit of effort, you can make this microphone sound really, really good. As you can see, Voicemeeter also has two hardware inputs, so a dual ModMic Wireless setup is something that I believe we're going to try. So like we got 2 units from Antlion Audio. We're definitely going to have to set things up, and hopefully we can get a really good sounding dual wireless microphone setup going, maybe for a build stream, because we all know wires all over the place, that gets in the way of everything. So yeah, I gotta say, ModMic Wireless, pretty impressive if you can get the right EQ out of it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do a comparison in Audacity here. We're going to do a typical record, which means basic record, then 1 single noise pass to get rid of hiss. Then we're going to do an amplify, which brings it up to the maximum non-clipping noise. And we can see how they all stack up from our studio mics to this guy here, back to back to back. So let's take a look. This is the ART M3 FET condenser microphone through the Soundcraft Notebook FX12. This is the ART D7 large diaphragm dynamic microphone through the Soundcraft Notebook FX12. This is the Antlion Audio ModMic 5 using the Antlion XLR 3.5 to 48 volt converter on the Soundcraft Notepad FX12. This is the Antlion Audio ModMic USB. No enhancements are being used. This is the Antlion Audio ModMic USB using Voicemeeter EQ Boost. This is the Antlion Audio ModMic Wireless. No enhancements are being used. This is the Antlion Audio ModMic Wireless using Voicemeeter EQ Boost. So yeah, I'd say that sounds pretty good. So, on the whole, not bad at all, but we're spoiled. The audio quality on these mics can't match the kind of sound afforded by those that are able to interface to something with good EQ bands behind them. Software like Voicemeeter can help though, and we'll be testing a dual wireless setup with a virtual EQ at some point in the near future. In our case though, the ModMic 5 is still king for our streaming needs. However, the ModMic Wireless is still invaluable as an on-the-go tool, and the plug-and-play ModMic USB is great for quick setup gaming applications. That's a snowplow.